as a cost-effective method for introducing carbs pre and post workout. With this, you get more and you're not as worried about maybe spiking your blood sugar. All right, everybody, so today on this video, I'm actually going to be doing a carnivore carbs meal. In this case, I actually wanted to make a meal that is carbohydrates. My experience is your hormones, your body, everything in that respect improves with athletic performance when you actually introduce carbs. So in this video, we're gonna actually make sweet potatoes the way that I've historically done them for a long, long time. So I got the oven preheating for 400. In the top rack, I'm gonna put the pan down here. We're gonna load these puppies. And I'm gonna be chopping the potatoes. I've got my cinnamon, my real salt, and we have quite a few sweet potatoes. I'm gonna actually throw these in a bowl. And as I chop the sweet potatoes up, I'll just mix them with my hands and get what I need in there with all the stuff that's in there. Fortunately, my parents were in town and they bought some olive oil, so we'll use this fresh olive oil. We won't use a lot. We're not gonna use a ton of cinnamon or olive oil, just because those are a little bit less tolerable in terms of carnivore foods. But I just want to add some texture and a little bit of flavor. Here's my knife, beautiful stainless German steel sweet potatoes. I'm gonna cut the ends off just because they're a little bit more gnarly. And then I'll look for any sections on these potatoes that has some bruising or damage. In this case, we're pretty good on that. So I can just go ahead and make these into pieces. And the other reason I'm doing it is because I've noticed with honey, there's a higher glycemic load. And with the honey, I don't know if I want to be eating like 5 tablespoons of honey just to get 200 grams of carbs. If I add something like sweet potatoes into the mix, I can eat several grams of carbohydrates and there's a little bit of a less glycemic impact, and I don't feel really that much of an impact digestively in how my body feels on those carbohydrates. So now we're just gonna add olive oil, and I put this in the fridge so it's a little cold, but we'll just kind of load these up like that. I've got the real salt shaker on the open, larger, organic Ceylon cinnamon. My 2 mixing big spoon and fork. Spread these out. These will cook really nice. What's great about sweet potatoes versus honey also, not only the glycemic load is lower, so your blood sugar is probably not gonna jump up as sharply. So honey, you can get 120, 150 grams of carbohydrates, maybe 200 by eating honey. 1 tablespoon is 60 calories. So say you do 3 tablespoons, that's gonna be around 45 grams of sugar. And it's really just kind of sharp. It's gonna spike blood sugar pretty high, pretty quickly. And you're only gonna get 180 calories of actual carbs. 180, yeah, you're gonna get about 17 total grams of carbs per serving, 50, 45 grams of carbs. With this, you can pump up that number. You can get more, and you're not as worried about maybe spiking your blood sugar and doing that. And if you tolerate them well, which most people are gonna tolerate sweet potatoes quite well, it can be an awesome pre-workout, post-workout carbohydrate. Today is a chest day for me, chest and back. So I'm going to be needing carbohydrates more and more. And from what I'm learning in the bodybuilding community and putting on muscle and optimizing your strength gains and what you're getting from physique building, carbohydrates can be great if they're high quality and well tolerated in terms of helping replenish the glycogen stores in your muscles and helping your body build back muscle. So the finished product is now done, and we have some lovely sweet potatoes. I'm gonna shoot in here on this and show you what we got. These are delicious. The one thing I'd probably do with these is, I think the olive oil was pretty on point as far as the amount that I wanted, just allowed enough stickiness in here. The consistency is perfect. They kind of crush in your hands, so they're gonna be nice and soft. The cinnamon, it's not heavy, but I might even go lighter and do a little bit more salt, just so they're a little cleaner, because cinnamon is going to be a little bit triggering for people. Usually not a lot, and I didn't put a ton on here, but it still does have a bit of a level of toxicity. So I would probably back off the cinnamon a little bit and put a little bit more salt in these. But other than that, these are awesome. Cool, so I made the sweet potatoes. And looking into the research around sweet potatoes, what I've found is they're fairly mild. For most people, they're gonna find that they're fairly well tolerated. I just ate a bunch of them, and personally, I feel a little bloated, not terribly bloated, certainly tolerable and much better than the vast majority of other foods that I might eat. We'll experiment with this and see how it goes. I haven't really introduced a lot of sweet potatoes up until maybe the last 6 months, and even then I haven't consistently eaten a lot of sweet potatoes, but I want to see. The glycemic index on sweet potatoes is lower than that of honey. There is a bit of fiber in there, so I can tell my gut is kind of adjusting to that, but perhaps it will be beneficial, and over time I'll report throughout my Instagram and kind of what's going on and how I'm feeling with that. So this is a good recipe. I think it works really well. It's certainly a cost-effective method for introducing quite a bit of carbs. 1 cup of sweet potatoes is roughly equivalent to about 25 to 30 grams of carbohydrates. Each serving is gonna give you about 4 grams of fiber, so keep that in mind. You might get a little bit gassy, you might get a little bit bloated, but nothing that I'm noticing very intensely. It's very, very mild, and I think I can deal with that for the most part. And knowing what I know, I think that maybe not doing quite as much honey, all like smack dab doing like 100 grams of honey, of carbs straight from honey, might be a little easier on my blood sugar levels. I'd love to test it out, see how it does in the future, and just see if it really impacts my glucose meter and just see what the differences are. So I might get a CGM and retest that, but I want to have this recipe for you all because I think as a cost-effective method for introducing carbs pre and post workout back into the body, this can be a great way to go. So thank you for watching the video. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this recipe and this type of introduction of carbohydrates. And if you've tried it, how it's worked for you and other things. I might try other foods. I might try some blueberries, maybe some avocado here and there just to kind of mix it up and see how I do. But for now, I'm gonna do sweet potatoes and honey and see how that does for my physique building and my overall results. Again, thanks a lot for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment below, and I will see you on the next video.